Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And in today's video, I wanted to talk about AT&T's quarterly earnings. I know I'm a bit late on that, but I kind of wanted to break it down to you guys and see what you think. And of course, again, this quarterly earnings has been kind of lopsided by the pandemic. So AT&T did take a loss on its wireless business of 151,000 postpaid wireless phone customers versus an estimate for a 4,000 gain. So a lot of that, of course, the pandemic was blamed. And then as we've seen with Verizon, AT&T also took a loss, but they were disconnects of 338,000 customers. So, and that's, of course, to comply with the government program. So the FCC set forth that none of those customers would be allowed to actually be disconnected from the service. So if they don't pay, they'll still get service. And that's something that the FCC set out early on in the pandemic. And most carriers have upheld that. I know sometimes I've seen people complain about it on Reddit that their service was actually disconnected, but that was probably a computer error or something. So when most of those customers called 611 customer care, it usually was taken care of right away. So a lot of people are confused by AT&T's earnings because they stated that they've gained a total now of HBO Max subscribers of 36.2 million customers. So that is, of course, that is one of the most successful launches of any service that AT&T has done in the past. We knew AT&T would likely be successful, but how did they achieve this? A lot of people have asked me, how did AT&T actually achieve those numbers? And well, for one, a big contribution to that was, you get HBO Max for free, you get it for free, everybody gets it for free. That was a big contribution to the platform and how they got it into the customers' homes. They nearly gave it to any and every platform, got it for free. AT&T Fiber, you get Max for free. You get the AT&T Wireless Elite plan, you get HBO Max for free. If you've previously had paid for HBO subscription, that automatically qualifies you to get HBO Max for free. So a lot of customers had access to the platform for free of charge. There was no charge. So I can understand how the numbers are so big on HBO Max, and they seem to be growing on a daily basis. Lots and lots of people are signing up for the service. Now, what do I think about the service? I haven't really spoken on it. I think it's a great service, a lot of content. The streaming could be a little better. It's off at times in terms of buffering, but I think over time, as they update the software, they get it right, I think it'll gradually improve. Of course, there's still the 4K HDR content missing. That's still in the works. And then monthly, they're adding newer content onto the platform. Now, of course, keep in mind, this is new content to the platform, but the content that they're adding is actually older content. Like on DC recently, they added all the older Superman movies with Christopher Reeve. So that's new content to the platform, but it's old movies. So there's, I would say there's great potential for the app itself. Are they trying to compete with Netflix? You could say that, sure. Although they did state that they're trying to go in a completely different direction from Netflix. But in a sense, it kind of reminds me of Netflix, how they're adding new content, then they're taking it off. They're adding their own original content. But the content that they have is unique because it's very well-known content. It's DC content, and everybody knows. There's the anime series, the cartoons, all that is on there. So you got all the Batman cartoons. They haven't added the trilogy Batmans yet. I don't know why, but those haven't been added. They have the Batman vs Superman on there, the Justice League movies, but any of the Christian Bale Batman movies, they haven't added those. I'm sure those are coming. And of course, there's other content still missing from the platform here and there, like Man of Steel is not on there, which is kind of, it's like odd. They have every other Superman movie, all the Justice League, Batman vs Superman, but then they didn't add Man of Steel. So there's still some tweaks made here that can be made here and there on the platform, but it looks to be very solid early on, because I'm getting some negative feedback in the email that people are saying Disney Plus is good, but it doesn't have any content. They said they finished watching the content that's on there, and after that it was kind of there's nothing really new coming. So that's the opposite of HBO Max. There's thousands and thousands of hours of content, and then they're still adding new content which is older movies, and then they're also still adding new original content. I believe the Perry Mason is what it's called. They just added, and then they're adding other new shows. So they're constantly trying to evolve the platform, and that's good. But I think what they're essentially aiming for or want are the people that are going to pay for the subscriptions, because that's added revenue. But for now, what's also helping the AT&T with the platform, they're adding it to the services that are going to increase AT&T's ARPU. So that's also helping. Like, you go to the Elite, that's the highest paying plan. You get AT&T Fiber, that's their highest paying internet plan. So that's what's helping them. They're creating value, but in the meantime, it's also upping their ARPU. So it's a win-win for AT&T. But again, I just wanted to talk to you guys briefly about that. HBO Max numbers are staggering. They look good. Wireless took a hit. Revenue also took a hit, a big hit. But I think that's going to be for all carriers across the board during the pandemic. When will it pick up? It's hard to say. It's hard to say when it will go back to normal. There are some analysts and people that have internal intelligence teams that are expecting it to go back to normal spring of next year. That's still a ways away, but that's when they think that numbers will start slowing. We could possibly have a vaccine by that time. So that's when most businesses are expecting it to go back to some kind of normal. But for now, in Q3 and Q4, be looking forward to these kinds of numbers. Also, could there be potentially an adjusting of plans? Maybe. I think one of the businesses are going to come forth and say, hey, look, we know right now everybody's shopping differently. They're using their money differently. So we're going to adjust our pricing points. And they could do that based on the pandemic. T-Mobile kind of started that with the 4 lines for $100. Like I said, they're really kind of walking on a thin line, competing against the prepaid business that they have. So if AT&T and Verizon were to come out with a similar plan, which AT&T may be, because I think they're more flexible. But Verizon, they probably won't come out with a plan that's 4 lines for $100. But there's something else that I'll talk about in another video that Verizon is offering right now. Kind of want to get your guys' input on it. But like I said, I think AT&T is flexible right now enough to kind of offer that kind of deal if they do choose to. Because like I stated in the earlier video, their board members, the investors are pressuring Stenke to cut pricing. So I think 4 lines, $100, you could potentially see that on the lowest plan for AT&T. But a big thing that they are doing is they're including 5G on all plans, including Cricket. So I think that's a step forward in the right direction, and that's putting the industry on notice. That'll kind of keep Verizon from offering that extra $10 plan increase for the 5G, because if everyone else is including 5G on their plans, it would be a big negative and potentially a PR nightmare if Verizon were to continue that increase for the 5G add-on. So let me know what you think about all this in the comment section down below. Again, if you have been on the channel, you can go ahead and end this video now. If you are new, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Also hit the notification bell so you are notified when I upload content. Make sure on YouTube app itself you enable push notifications so it does get pushed to your device in the notifications. And also follow my Twitter. I'll leave that in the description down below. So you guys have 2 platforms to push notifications to get the videos the minute they go live. And this is Tyrone with Tech Life, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.